minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Minutes approved. Antonius, you're up first today.
Good afternoon, council.
Yes, ma'am.
We have one applicant tonight, Evening Hours Club LLC, Evening Hours Club, applying for lounge retail liquor class one, located at 1229 University Boulevard. This is the area, not the location. It's located right across the road line. Last call, no interest report by CPD. First part did not have any objections to this application. And last, on July 15th, it was approved unanimously to bring it to the City Council.
Okay, oh, yeah.
So it's a change of ownership.
All right.
It's a change of ownership, is that new?
It's new. It's new, right?
Owns from Glory Bound.
Yeah, yeah. He has several places in the strip, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Virgil.
So tonight we've got two for you. The first one here is 2208 3rd Street East. The owners are aware that it's going to be condemned. They were asking for an extension, but I told them that they've got plenty of time to get it torn down themselves if they desire to. I don't think they're gonna be here to contest or anything like that. They were just wanting an extension to give them time to tear it down, and I told them, I said, we're gonna go ahead with it. You've got plenty of time to get your own contractor, so.
What do we do? Is it 60 days?
It's just.
It
right
takes a
now,
while to
it's
get
just,
to it.
It's the process. We have to, get the disconnects done. Once we do this, first of all, we have to give them 10 days to appeal, then the mayor signs off, then it goes through the process. And it can take up to 90 days or even longer at sometimes. And then we've got about 15 already in waiting to be demolition before this one would ever.
So it could be 4 or 5 months.
Alright, and the next one basically is the same boat, 2512 Paul W. Bryant Drive. This one is, the owners are, I think they already pulled a permit to start demolition. They will not be here.
The barbershop's next
Tuscaloosa, or Tuscaloosa, Construction owns it. And, but he will not be here to contest the, condemnation of this one.
Any questions for Virgil? Okay,
That's all I got.
thank you.
Thank you.
Zach.
Good afternoon. I have an annexation request for you guys. This is actually the city requesting this, so it's a portion of right of way on 30th Avenue East. At this location close to Adams Heating and Cooling. You can see that it's a small portion. This gives the best view. So the back half of this road is in the city limits. The front half is not. And so this was requested by the Office of the City Engineer because they had been working with one of the property owners in this area to get it repaved. And in order to do that, we needed to annex it into the city. And this was the answer recommended to be approved. That's it.
Okay. Any questions for Zach? All right, thank you. The mayor's running a little late. He will be here though. Ms. Johnson.
So we've got 2 boards to go over with you guys. If you remember, we had 1 vacancy on the Jamison Vandegraff Board of Directors. We accepted resumes for 2 weeks and we had 2 applications. I've got both of them listed on your handouts along with the copies of their resumes and the districts they reside in. So I don't know if you guys need some more time to review them or if you guys have already made your decision.
I'm sorry, but.
Jamison Vandegraff is on your
Oh,
handout.
yeah. Sorry.
So I'm not familiar with either one, so I'm okay if we want to study for a week. But I don't, unless y'all got,
Oh, absolutely.
This is his son.
Thomas is My brother is following.
Oh,
Brian.
he works out number one. He works
Absolutely.
out number
He's
one.
good.
Credit.
Y'all got somebody you want?
He works out number one credit.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
did.
yeah, I do know Thomas,
did,
yeah,
man.
yeah, I do know Thomas,
Yeah.
I like Thomas too.
I do too.
You wanna go with Tom?
Joe likes him.
Yes.
I don't have an objection.
Alright, so I'll have that on next week's council, and then the next one is Future Cities. If you remember, last week we talked about there being a vacancy that, Ms. Wigurski has resigned from that board. You guys wanted to see the resumes that we received earlier in the year. I sent those over. 2 of the 3 resumes we appointed earlier this year, so the only one left would be Ms. Gisela Gillow.
Was Linda Ford not in the original batch?
No, sir, she did not submit a resume.
She told Randy she wasn't gonna submit.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Gisha the Loach.
She's,
That's the only one there, right?
yeah, she's the one that does the students from city schools.
It's not bad.
From Bryan High School. Okay,
That's all I got.
thank you, Brandy. Scott,
Good afternoon, council.
good afternoon.
I am toward the top of page 2. We're on page 12. You'll be selecting TTL to provide environmental assessment for the Office of Community and Neighborhood Services. This came out of CD committee on the 15th. On page 13, you'll be authorizing execution of an amended agreement with the Department of Housing and Urban Development for the Home Investment Partnerships America Rescue Plan Program. This again came out of CD committee on the 15th. On page 14 and 15, you'll be authorizing the Office of Community and Neighborhood Services to make budget and program changes through a local amendment to the home ARP allocation plan and for the 2021 action plan for the city's 5-year consolidated plan for community planning and development programs for program years 2020 through 2024. Again, that came to you in the CD committee. On page 16, you'll be authorizing the Office of Community and Neighborhood Services to submit the 2025 City of Tuscaloosa analysis for impediments to fair housing choice to the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Again, that came from CD committee. On page 17 and 18, you'll be adopting the city's 5-year consolidated plan for community planning and development programs for the program years 2025 through 2029, and the action plan for year 2025 for CDBG home and other HUD grant programs. Again, that came to you in CD committee. On page 19, you'll be suspending the approval of sign permits for billboards along the Greats Ferry Road. This came to you in admin. On pages 20 through 21, you'll be suspending the issuance of sidewalk cafe permits along University Boulevard and imposing additional conditions on any new sidewalk cafe permits. And again, that came to you last week in admin. On page 22, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a right-of-way permit to Ready Mix USA LLC. This came to you in projects on the 15th. On page 23, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to the contract with Ritchie Quality Cuts for as-needed FY 2025 pressure washing services. This is a total amended compensation amount of $54,500. And again, came from projects. On page 24, you'll be authorizing a contract for professional engineering and related services with Duncan Coker for the Julia Tutwiler Drive and Campus Drive Improvements Project. This is a total not to exceed $244,760. And again, came to you in projects on the 15th. On page 25, you'll be authorizing a professional services agreement with TTL for the 2025 citywide resurfacing project. This is a total not to exceed $9,000 and came to you in projects last week. On page 26, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Forstall Company. This is a total not to exceed $100,000 and came to you in projects on the 15th. On page 27, you'll be authorizing minor public works contract with Renovations Plus LLC, total of $8,200, and again, that came from the projects on the 15th. On page 28, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Career Service Company for utility boring. This is a total of $6,425 and came to you in project on the 15th. On page 29, you'll be authorizing the Chief Information Officer to execute an agreement for professional services with Securant 360 LLC. This is a total of $26,800. On page 30, you'll be authorizing a funding agreement with Kentucky Museum Association for the Queen City Pool House Improvements Project. This is a total not to exceed $55,000. Came through finance last week. On page 31, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a professional services contract with Boca Holdings LLC, Gray Matter Consulting. This is a total of $215,000 that came through finance last week. On page 32, you'll be authorizing payment to USI Insurance Services LLC for the renewal of EMT home health care professional liability insurance coverage. This is a total of $8,496.96, and that was presented in finance last week. On page 33, you'll be authorizing the purchase of equipment, supplies, and services from Struthers Recreational LLC, DBA Game Time. This is a total of $103,393.08. This comes to you from purchasing of the previously budgeted purchase. On page 34 through 35, you'll be authorizing amendment number 15 to the fiscal year 2025 General Fund Reserve for Future Improvement Fund budget. This came to finance on 15. On page 36, we actually have a substitute on this one that will be authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to draw a draft for the University Boulevard East Improvements Project right-of-way acquisition. The total on the substitute is $94,065, and that comes to you from all bonds. On page 37 through 47, you'll be introducing zoning amendment number 16, amending various sections of chapter 25 pertaining to townhomes. This comes to you from the Planning Commission that was discussed last week. Mr. Pons covered the next one. We'll skip over to page 51, where you'll be amending exhibits A and B of 1942 of Tuscaloosa. This comes to you from admin last week. On page 52, you'll be authorizing amendment number 14 to the fiscal year 2025 general fund budget. This came through finance last week. I'm sorry, is that one doubled up, Harley? My notes have it on finance today.
No, it's not double.
Is that mine?
That's Mr.
No, that wasn't yours. Actually, I don't know.
Is that
That one is-
for the district improvement fund?
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay, sorry. On page 53, you'll be authorizing amendment number 3 to the 2025 Elevate Tuscaloosa Fund budget. This came to you in finance last week. On page 54, you'll be reappointing David Hudson Jr. to the DCH Healthcare Authority Board of Directors. That came from pre-finance last week. On page 55 through 96, you'll be authorizing the issuance and making provision for the payment of $67,830,000 general obligation warrants. These are the federal taxable Series 2025A warrant issues. Next, on page 97 through 138, you'll be authorizing the issuance and making provision for the payment of $16,040,000 general obligation warrants. These are the not taxable warrants that make up Series 2025C. I do have Mr. Staples here. If there are any remaining questions on either of those, I have not asked him to be here tonight. On page 139, you'll be setting August 19th as the date for hearing and consider adoption of zoning amendment number 16. And this comes to you from the Planning Commission and is the annexation Mr. Pond spoke to earlier. Any questions for me or from Staples on the
Mr. Holmes, on page 33, what is that? Is that playground facilities? What is that?
That's mine. No, that's not.
No, yours was 83, I thought. What?
That's and it's with the Elevate, it's with the budget revision we did last week for J.C.
I'm
Park.
sorry.
there's 33, the purchasing.
Of the playground, yes, for the playground equipment. We did the yeah, so it's the purchasing of the playground equipment for J.C. Park that we did the budget revision for in the finance committee last week. That's on,
Well, that came through finance.
yes.
I thought it was 83,000, and this shows
83,000 was a budget revision that we needed to get the project account up to a total where we could purchase the playground. There was some leftover in the project account that we could use, and it needed 83,000 more to go into it.
so this is requested by purchase.
Well, purchasing does all of the purchases for equipment such as that of that nature.
So those,
Okay, typically, when we're buying things like that, it shows up as having come through finance. On the day it came through finance, before this actually came through finance, which is why I didn't recognize it. But
and the reason that is those resolutions come from her office rather than my office. they're prepared by the purchasing
Well,
department.
hey, I'm sorry, what's the question?
The question is, this item came through finance committee last week.
The budget revision for that item
The
came through
budget
finance,
revision.
yes.
But not the resolution authorizing us to purchase.
No, sir. So the purchase of the purchase of equipment, as long as it's budgeted, always goes directly to council.
And this was budgeted where?
In the tennis center project. And then we
I
put,
thought this got briefed as having come out of contingency because it was over and above.
the budget revision that was briefed last week was for the remainder of the amount that needed to go into the tennis
The
center
remainder of the
project
amount.
to be able
So
to
the
purchase that.
83 was the remainder?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Scott? I told you he'd be here. Mayor Matt.
Sorry, I was running late today.
That's fine, you're up. I think I'm here. You have anything?
No, sir, I apologize. I was in a meeting and couldn't get out of it quick enough. I apologize for being late.
No executive session?
No executive session?
Boom. Slam that happen.
Alright, we have project 2:30, finance 3, public safety 3:30, and then of course council meeting at 5. On Tuesday, July 29th at 2:30, the city council have a work session here in this boarding room. No committee meetings that day. ZBA will meet Monday, July 14th. I do wanna note for all the staff and everybody at City Hall that Boys and Girls Club is having their annual lemonade day at the Government Plaza, 1 to 3 on Friday. I hope everyone will go out and support them. What they've got 19 different flavors of lemonades, and with the kids, they'll come up with their own business plan. And then they will also have they come up with their own recipes. And so they're gonna be in City of Tuscaloosa, was recognized today by, Kim, for our support, but anybody in City Hall, if you'll go out between 1 and 3 on Friday and support the kids. And they really want to tell you what their business plan's about, and then it'll be a great hot day for lemonade too, 1 to 3 on Friday. All right, is there anything else that needs to be brought before this pre-council? All right, then I hear a motion we adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion to second adjourn, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pre-council